Sadhujanam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padhan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha. So if you all know the prayers, you all can chant with me. Because invocation prayers are for every one of us. For the speaker to speak according to the scriptures and parampara, for listeners to understand. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Jina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Ushabhanu State Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So you all can see my screen?
Yes, Mataji.
What do you see? Why did Lord Chaitanya appear, right? That is what you all see. Okay.
Yes, Mataji.
Thank you all so much. So we are discussing how to practice yoga in this age of quarrel. Because in this age, people quarrel on small things. People are born with certain kinds of defects and everybody wants everything for them. They want to lord over everything. So that's why they quarrel first. This age is called as age of quarrel. So how to practice yoga in this age of quarrel is what we are learning in the 5th chapter of Science of Self-Realization. So we will take turns, and so we have understood that in the last session that avatara should be mentioned in the scriptures, and we should not be accepting anybody who says that he is an avatara as an avatara, but we have to go back and check in the scriptures to find a reference about that avatara and then accept. And we also have to accept authority of the Vedas in understanding spiritual knowledge, because that knowledge, like how we know about a country through the map, even though we never visit that country, somebody may be knowing all the details about that country through a map. Similar way, we accept the Vedas as the authority. And the simple method was preached by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he is in golden color. So that's why he's called as golden avatara. And his weapon, because every avatara comes with a weapon. Usually Krishna has 4 hands and he has club, disc as weapons. But in Kali Yuga, when he came as Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his weapon is chanting the holy names of the Lord, Sankirtana, chanting together in congregation, not just like only us, but in together. So that is what we are reading. And it is so nice that we come to this part of our Science of Self-Realization with Lord Chaitanya's mercy, because this was not planned. This was not planned by me, or we are reading in detail Science of Self-Realization. We have done that in the past, very detailed, all the chapters. As you all know, the first chapter, from the first chapter, we learn about the soul, and we learn that we are not this body. We learn that we need to choose a spiritual master and how a spiritual master should be. And we also looked at the cultural background of impersonalism, personalism. And then we also understood about Krishna and Christianity. And we went to practicing yoga in the age of quarrel. And so happened that we come to the part of Lord Chaitanya. And what is the significance? On March 17th, we all are going to celebrate the appearance of Lord Chaitanya. because Lord Chaitanya is an avatara, and it is already mentioned in the Vedas, confirmed. Avatara means Lord Chaitanya exists in the spiritual world, and he comes down to this material world with his spiritual body. And so we will be knowing about Lord Chaitanya a lot so that you all can meditate and pray. So I'll take turns, as you all know, to reading. So who wants to go first? Please raise your hand. Not in the video, in the, okay, I see Mihika, Joshna. Okay, Mihika, you can start this slide.
Okay, Mataji. Why did Lord Chaitanya appear? So an avatar must conform to the descriptions in the Upanishads, Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahabharata, and other Vedic literatures. And on the authority of Vedic literature and the commentary of great stalwart Goswamis like Jiva Goswami, who was the greatest scholar and philosopher in the world, we can accept Lord Chaitanya as an incarnation of Krishna. Why did Lord Chaitanya appear? In the Bhagavad-Gita, Lord Krishna says, "Give up all other engagements and simply engage in my service. I will give you protection from all results of sinful actions." In this material world, in conditioned life, we are simply creating sinful reactions. That's all. And because of sinful reactions, we have received this body. If our sinful reactions stopped, we would have to take a material body. We should get a spiritual body. What is a spiritual body? A spiritual body is a body that is free from death, birth, disease, and old age. It is an eternal body full of knowledge and bliss. Different bodies are created by different desires. As long as we have desires for different kinds of enjoyment, we can accept different kinds of material bodies. Krishna, God, is so kind that he awards whatever we want. If we want a tiger body with tiger-like strength and teeth with which to capture animal and suck fresh blood, then Krishna will give us the opportunity. And if we want the body of a saintly person, a devotee engaged in only in the service of the Lord, then he'll give us that body. This is stated in the Bhagavad-Gita.
So now we have to accept that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is avatara, because we have descriptions about him in the Upanishads, Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahabharata, and other Vedic literatures. So what is the authority that we are asking here? To accept an avatara is the Vedic scriptures, not the most popular novel or most popular author that we see. So on the authority of the Vedic literature and also Shastra. Shastra is the Vedic literature, and Sadhu. And Sadhu means the great saints like Jiva Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswamis, sadhus. That means the people who have practiced what has been mentioned in the Vedas and scriptures and have realized it, have understood it. So on base, because they have dedicated their lives for the complete study of it. We are like actually doing our normal things and also studying, but they have dedicated their lives in the meditation, in reading the scriptures, and they are also accepting that. So these are the two bases for us to accept. So we accept Lord Chaitanya as an incarnation of Krishna. Now we have a doubt. Why did he appear? We already know why he appears generally. He appears because he wants to annihilate the bad people and protect the good people. So that will be universally his reason to appear in any millennium, in any age, whether it is Satya Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, or Kali Yuga, or any age. His main motive is to protect the good people. And because he comes down while protecting the good people, in the process, he also annihilates the bad people. So that is how it is. So why did Chaitanya appear? Chaitanya appeared to remove all the sinful reactions of all of us. Because in Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna says, does anybody remember the sloka? What is the sloka that is mentioned here? Give up all other engagements and simply engage in my service. I'll give you protection from all results of sinful actions that we have done in all of our previous lives. So what when he says, give you protection from the results of sinful actions, what does the results of sinful actions do to us? What does the results of sinful actions do to us?
Mataji, can I answer?
Yeah.
So they basically the reactions, like they give us like sadness, and so do like
They give us misery. They give us sufferings. They give us sufferings. That's why you see sometimes small babies, they suffer with big diseases. And there are so many people, you may be doing the same thing, but results are different. So some people may be struggling a lot. Some people may not have food to eat. Some people may not have a house to live. Some people may not have protection. So there are so many sufferings in this world. So the results of sinful reactions is that we have to undergo sufferings. And Krishna says in 18.64, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. So that is the sloka here Prabhupada is mentioning in the purport. So what did Krishna says? Forget about everything, surrender to me. And 18.66, abandon all varieties of religion and surrender to me. I shall deliver you from all sins. So that is the promise Krishna has done. So because of the sinful reactions, we have received this body. And if our sinful reactions stop, we would not have to take a material body. We should get a spiritual body. So the indication that we don't have any, we have to suffer any results of our sinful reactions is that we won't get any material body. That means we won't be born as a human, tiger, cat, dog, Gandharva, Apsarasa, demigod, or anything. We will get our original body, which is a spiritual body. And what does that body does? Because right now we are actually soul and we are wearing a dress of human body. And what happens when we become old? We leave this dress and we wear another dress. If you have desire at that point of time to eat lot of meat and all those things, then Krishna will make you born as a tiger. Then it will be more easy for you to eat meat. Nobody will say that, oh, why are you killing an animal or anything? Because tiger is allowed to do that. So we have to be very careful, the habits, the desires that we are developing, because whatever the desires that we develop, that is the body we are going to get at the end of our life. And in the spiritual body, we don't need to take birth. Taking birth means wearing again a different dress of material body. Like right now we are humans. When we take birth again, we may be humans or we may not be humans. So birth, death is also very painful. Disease, we get any disease, and especially some chronic diseases like cancer and all, they are very painful. The kids who undergo those, the adults who undergo those, it is very painful. They give you a lot of suffering, pain. And then old age is also very painful because they cannot see, they cannot talk, they can't go by themselves everywhere, they can't drive by themselves, they don't have anybody to take care of them, their body will be paining to them, so they will have so many health issues also. So once we get our spiritual body, we don't need to have any of these four things, and it is eternal. That means we don't need to take again another body. So Krishna promises that, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has appeared to help us to get our spiritual body and remove all the results of sinful reactions. We'll go to the next slide. Joshna, you can go ahead. Param, I could see your message, so I won't be. Go ahead, Manhar. You go and use restroom. And Param, I won't be calling you as you said you are not free. So Joshna, go ahead, Joshna.
If a person engaged in yoga, the process of self-realization, somehow or other fails to complete the process, he is given another chance. He is given birth in a family of a pure Brahmana or a rich family. If one is fortunate enough to take birth in such a family, he gets all facilities to understand the importance of self-realization. From the very beginning of life, our Krishna conscious children are getting the opportunity to learn how to chant and dance. So when they are grown up, they will not change, but instead will automatically make progress. They are very fortunate. Regardless of whether he is born in America or Europe, a child will advance if his father and mother are devotees. He gets his opportunity if a child takes birth in a family of devotees. This means that in the last life he had already taken to the yoga process, but somehow or another he could not finish it. Therefore, the child is given another opportunity to make progress under the care of a good father and mother, so that he will again advance in this way. As soon as one completes his development of God consciousness, then he no longer has to take birth in the material world, but returns to the spiritual world.
So what do you all understand by this para that we have read just now? Does any one of you have any reflection or realization when we are reading this? Did any one of you?
I understood that if in one of your births, you do not complete the process of self-realization, then Krishna gives you a second chance in another form of human birth to complete it and then go back to Godhead.
So what personally it means to you all? Because you are all young kids, and from the beginning you are listening. I started listening to the scriptures at the age of 25, but you all started very young. That means, what is that from this para? What do you, from this slide, what do you all infer with relation to your lives? Good job, Raghav. You have summarized very nicely. But can you go further, deeper, and apply it to you and speak up?
Mataji, can I?
Yeah, yes, Mihika. I'll see if Raghav can't, then I'll go to you. Because earlier you get a chance to answer. So I was just wondering if all of you can participate. So
it means that if we're engaged in Krishna consciousness from birth, then we are very lucky because
yes.
we'll have our whole life to practice Krishna consciousness instead of just a little bit of it.
And then you all might have been unsuccessful yogis in your previous lives. You all understand that? That means you may be wondering that you are doing this first, but you are very fortunate that you got introduced to this at this young age, because what Prabhupada is saying, that because these children are yogis in their previous life, but you did not complete it. So you all have taken birth again to complete this process. So if you all notice here, what did Prabhupada says, like, this means that in his last life, he had already taken to the yoga process, but somehow or other, he could not finish it. So some of your parents are already devotees. They are also practicing, and they have encouraged you to come and listen to these sessions. They are encouraging you to practice, chant. You may be finding that, oh, why my parents are always behind this? When I see my friends' parents, they just go outside, they let them watch movies, play, eat whatever they want. They are just doing whatever they want. But why my parents are asking me to attend these sessions, and why I have to know about this all, and then why I have to chant? So you have to know that you are the luckiest people, actually. So if in a class a teacher knows that if little bit push is given to you, you can score high. If you are a good player in basketball or anything, and you have only small mistakes to correct, then the teacher will focus more on you so that you can become a potential player. If there is another kid who don't even know to do the ball and even throw the ball a little far, so he has a long learning curve. So the teacher may not be more particular about that person than this. So you all may be thinking, oh, I'm already getting 60-70%. Why they are asking me to do even more? Because you have that potential. You all are having that second chance. So when your parents are saying, when you're asking you all to do these things, understand that you are somebody who have already experienced this yoga process, and you are continuing it now, and you are all very, very fortunate to be born in those kind of families, because Krishna is giving you another chance. You are born in a Brahmana's family or a rich people families, and you're all being given a chance, fortunate, because, oh, you have some incomplete business in your previous life, and you wanted to complete it. So I'm giving you a chance. So make sure at any point of time in your life, as you are growing, the homeworks may increase. You may get busy with work. You may be having so many things to do, but always remember that you should not forget Krishna or leave Krishna in your life, and just chant the holy names of the Lord. That is very simple. You don't need to really, we already learned in our previous sessions that chanting, how we should chant, we just need to have Panchatattva picture. I remember Omkar has summarized that. We just need to have a Panchatattva picture and just chant Hare Krishna mantra. That simple it is. So this single point you all remember, and you all understand and realize that you are all very, very fortunate to have parents who are supporting this, because the knowledge that you are gaining now, the time that you are spending now, you may be thinking that I'm only attending a class, listening to the lecture all the time, and on top of this Mataji asks questions also, I have to answer these questions. But this 1 hour that you are spending comes as a service, because Krishna says hearing and chanting, right? So when you are doing a hearing of Krishna Katha, it becomes a service. So that means whatever the benefit Mataji is getting by speaking, equal benefit you all are getting by just listening to it, by listening to Krishna Katha. So this is going to help you all in long run. Okay, so we'll go to next. I see Manhar. Go ahead, Manhar, read. And Param, I'll call you next.
Okay, Mataji. Krishna says in the Bhagavad-Gita, my dear Arjuna, if one understands my appearance, disappearance, and activities simply because of...
Manhar, you read. Can you read slowly, Kanna?
Okay. Krishna says in the Bhagavad-Gita, my dear Arjuna, if one understands my appearance, disappearance, and activities simply because of this understanding is giving the opportunity to take birth in the spiritual world after giving up this body. One has to give up this body. Today, tomorrow, maybe the day after that. One has to. But a person who has understood Krishna will not have to take another material body. He goes directly to the spiritual world and takes birth in one of the spiritual planets. So Krishna says, as soon as one gets this body, it doesn't matter if it is from India or the moon or the sun or Brahmalok, anywhere within this material world. One should know that it is due to his sinful activities. There are degrees of sinful activities, so according to the degree of sinfulness, one takes a material body. And therefore, our real problem is not how to eat, sleep, mate, and defend. Our real problem is how to get a body that is not material but spiritual. That is the ultimate solution to all problems. So Krishna guarantees that if one surrenders unto him, if one becomes fully Krishna conscious, then he will give one protection from all sinful life.
All reactions to sinful life. Good job, Manhar. You have tried very nicely and you read slowly. So Krishna says that if one understands my appearance, my disappearance and activities, then he won't get a material body again. So what is the biggest problem in not understanding? Why people are not able to understand? What is the mistake they are doing in understanding Krishna's appearance, disappearance, and activities? Can any one of you tell me? What is the biggest mistake people are doing in understanding Krishna's appearance, disappearance, and all those things?
They think Krishna is a normal person.
Normal person means like what?
Like Krishna is like one of the living entities.
That's true. They don't think Krishna is normal person. They think that Krishna has some superpowers, but they think Krishna has material body like ours. Like our body has a birth, death, old age, disease, and then we are under the control of modes. We are under the control of the senses, because if we see we may be rude to someone because they hurt us, or we may be nice to someone because they praise us, or like if mode of goodness is acting on me, I'll be all good that day. If mode of ignorance is acting, I'm super bad. I'll be rude to everybody. But it is not the case with Krishna. Krishna, first of all, have a spiritual body, and Krishna is above the modes. So that is the mistake everybody is doing in understanding Krishna. They think that Krishna is like one of us. He has so many wives because he wants to enjoy, or he is envious of Kauravas, that's why he is killing them. No, Krishna does not have any of those feelings. Envy, greed, lust, all those things are material things, and they are all there in the living entities. But Krishna does not have all those. Krishna is above all those things. So that is the biggest mistake people are doing in understanding Krishna, because they think Krishna and we are same. But Krishna is super conscious, and we are only individual conscious. We have learned that, right? So if not today, tomorrow, anywhere we have, anytime we have to leave this body and take another body. So from Brahmaloka to the lowest Patala Loka, the bodies that we get are all material. And then we get based on our degree of sinful activities. If we are very, very sinful, we will be born in the lower planets. If we are okay, not that sinful, maybe sometimes we may get human body. If we are really good and we only have very little sins, then we may be born as the Devi Devatas in the higher planets. So from Brahmaloka, all the 14 planets, first of all, we all get material bodies, and our material bodies, our dresses are decided based on the sinfulness that we have. If we are very sinful, then we may get a body of an insect inside the stool. Or if we are very, very sinful, we may get a body of a Rakshasa. So based on our sinful nature and our desires, we get our bodies. So we have to be very, very careful. Even from the Brahmaloka, in Swargaloka also, they also have material bodies. So Prabhupada is saying, wherever they are born, in India, in moon, in sun, or in Brahmaloka, anywhere in this material world, one should know that it is due to his sinful activities. That means they all also have done certain sinful activities, but their sinful activities are very less. That's why they got better bodies. Because Devi Devatas live for a longer life. They don't have disease and old age. They only have birth and death. They don't have disease and old age. But we humans have birth, death, disease, and old age. And if you take the lifespan of cats or dogs, it is not that long as human beings. They live very short time. And if you take some insects, they will be dying in just 1 minute. So their bodies are not at all smart bodies like us. So all the bodies in this material world are material, are made of material elements, and they all have certain degree of sinful activities. That's why they got that body. So most of the time we focus on what to eat, how to sleep, how to enjoy, how to defend. That should not be our real problem. Our real problem should be that when will I get my spiritual body back? Because the material body that we are having right now is lower, is inferior to the spiritual body that we have as a soul. But we don't know that. We forgot that. So that's why our real problem should be, how can I go back and get my spiritual body? Getting the spiritual body is the solution to all problems. See, most of the times, what are the problems that we face? If we don't have food, we will be like very hungry. We want food. If we don't sleep, we are tired. We are very cranky. If we are going into the forest in the night, we are afraid that some animals may come and attack us. And if we get a disease, that is a suffering. So most of the time, these are all our sufferings, and these all are related to the material body. So once we get rid of the material body and we get our spiritual body, all our problems will stop. But what we do actually, we don't solve the actual problem. We are only solving the symptoms. That means we are not going and correcting the right problem. We are just, I need food, so I'll just eat food, and then I forget about food until I feel hungry again. So the real solution is to get our spiritual body. So Param?
I have to read the whole page.
Yes, you can read. How old are you?
8 years old, Mataji.
Okay, you can read?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Surrender to Lord Sri Krishna. The assurance was given by Krishna in the Bhagavad-Gita, but there were many fools who could not understand Krishna in the Bhagavad-Gita. They are described as Madhus.
Mudas.
Mudas. Muda means rascal, and Krishna says in the Gita, they do not know what I actually am. So many people misunderstood Krishna. Although Krishna gave us this message of the Bhagavad Gita so that we could understand him, many people missed the opportunity. Therefore, Krishna, out of his compassion, came again as a devotee and showed us how to surrender unto Krishna. Krishna himself came to teach us how to surrender. His last instruction in the Bhagavad Gita is to surrender. But people,
Mudas.
rascals, said, why should I surrender? Therefore, although Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, this time he teaches us practically how to execute the mission of the Bhagavad Gita. That's all. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching nothing extraordinary, nothing beyond the process of surrendering to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which was already taught in the... Can we scroll down, Mataji?
I can continue. There is one more line, maybe you are not able to see. We already taught in the Bhagavad Gita. There is no teaching, but the same teaching is presented in different ways, so that different kinds of people may take it and take the opportunity to approach God. So Caitanya Mahaprabhu has just repeated the message of Krishna. Krishna, when he was speaking Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, 18.66, Krishna said, surrender to me. I will remove all the problems of your life. But then we did not surrender at that point. There are some people who did not took Krishna's instructions seriously. So Krishna is an affectionate father, because Krishna knows that we all belong to spiritual world, and we have been put in a jail here in this material world, and we are suffering. Sometimes we suffer because of lack of food, sometimes we suffer because lack of sleep, sometimes we suffer because of diseases, sometimes we suffer because of old age. So Krishna was telling, why don't you come back to your original body, which does not have all these problems. And for that we have to surrender to Krishna and chant the holy names of the Lord. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, but this time he came as a devotee, because he wanted to show to the people how a devotee should be, what a devotee should do, how he has to pray to Krishna. Because unless Krishna teaches us, we don't know how to pray to Krishna also. That's why Krishna came himself as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he's teaching the people. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not teaching anything new. He's only teaching us the same thing which Krishna has told in Bhagavad Gita, but this time he's practicing it by himself, and he is doing. Like how a father, if you all know, when your parents taught you something, like if they are teaching you cooking, first they'll cook and show you. If they are teaching you cricket, first they play and show you. In the similar way, Krishna has come down to this material world to play the role of a devotee and teach us how to surrender to Krishna. So that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when he comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is even more merciful. That means he's not too strict like Krishna. He's even more merciful because he does not have any other weapon. He only have the weapon of holy name. And then he helps us how to practice because he came to show us and he came in the mood of a devotee. That's why. Okay, I don't have any volunteers to read. Who wants to read next other than those who already read? Param, Manhar, Mihika and Joshna has read. So someone else other than them who wants to read? Because this might be the last slide. We may run out of the time after that.
Just now.
Okay, Omkar, go ahead.
Okay, Mataji. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives us the opportunity to reach God directly. When Rupa Goswami, the principal disciple of Lord Chaitanya, first saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was a minister in the government of Bengal but wanted to join Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. So he gave up his position as a minister, and after joining, when he surrendered, he offered a nice prayer to Lord Chaitanya. This prayer says, Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni Gaura Tvise Namaha. My dear Lord, you are the most
Magnificent.
of all the incarnations. Why? Krishna Prema Pradayate. You are directly giving love of God. You have no other purpose. Your process is so nice that one can immediately learn to love God. Therefore, you are the most magnificent of all incarnations, and it is not possible for any personality other than Krishna himself to deliver this benediction. Therefore, I say that you are Krishna, Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namni. You are Krishna, but you have assumed the name Krishna Chaitanya. I surrender unto you.
Good. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving us opportunity how we can reach God directly. So that's why Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami were ministers at the time when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there. That means they were the most richest people. They left all their wealth and they joined Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they went to Vrindavan and they lived there and they have written so many books and they got instructions from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Rupa Goswami has written Namo Mahavadanyaya. That means you're the most merciful because you are distributing the love of Krishna. And Krishna, who is that Krishna? So if we we feel so safe and secure when we get love of our parents, even though if you have done any mistake when you come home, but if your parents are not shouting at you, if your parents are not being mad at you, but they say that they'll come and hug you and say, that's okay, don't worry, we all do mistakes, so do things, then you'll feel so happy, so relieved. So that is a mercy. So similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like that. He is giving easily to everybody Krishna Prema Pradayate, how to love of Krishna. So by doing this, you can get Krishna. So he's giving us the secret out. He's telling all of us. And who is Krishna? Krishna is the most powerful in this material and spiritual worlds. If we can get Krishna's love, we don't need anything else. We may be thinking that, oh, I need this chocolate, I need this, I have to go this. No, those all things are too small in front of Krishna's love. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is easily giving that to all of us. So that's why he's very merciful. If somebody stands outside your school every day and he's giving you lunch for free, or he's giving you lemonade for free and all, you all will be feeling like, oh, he's so nice, he's such a nice person. When I'm playing in the hot sun, he's giving me lemonade. So you'll say thank you. Here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving the most wealthiest thing that anybody else cannot give us. That is love of Krishna. So once we get love of Krishna, what happens? We will become most powerful, because Krishna will do anything to protect his devotees. Krishna has become the chariot driver for Arjuna. Krishna can do anything. You just ask, Krishna will be there. We just have to we have to learn how to love. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given that. So Rupa Goswami is telling, you are so merciful, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because you are just giving to us that very easily. So you are Krishna, but you have assumed the form of Chaitanya. So I surrender to you. So Rupa Goswami is saying, I will surrender to you because you are Krishna himself, but you have come in the mood of a devotee. So I think we can do this also. So I'll take one more volunteer.
Mataji,
Omkar
can
is
I read?
done. Raghav, go ahead, Raghav.
So this is the process. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, and he is teaching how to develop love of God by a very simple method. He says to simply chant Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama eva kevalam, Kalo nasteva 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 gati ranyatha. In this age, simply go on chanting an Hare Krishna mantra. There is no other alternative. People are embarrassed by so many methods of realization. They cannot take to the actual ritualistic processes of meditation or yoga. It is not possible. Therefore, Lord Chaitanya says that if one takes up this process of chanting, then immediately he can reach the platform of realization. The chanting process offered by Lord Chaitanya for achieving love of Godhead is called Sankirtan. Sankirtan is a Sanskrit word. Sam means samyak, complete, and kirtan means glorifying or describing. So the complete description means complete glorification of the Supreme Lord, or the Supreme complete whole. It is not that one can describe anything or glorify anything, and that will be kirtan. From the grammatical point of view, that may be kirtan, but according to Vedic system, kirtan means describing the supreme authority, the absolute truth, the supreme personality of Godhead. That is called kirtan.
Wonderful. So how can we get the love of God? How we can get Krishna? Krishna as our friend, Krishna as our master, Krishna as our savior. How can we have Krishna and respond to us as soon as we call him? The process is very easy. See, if you have to go and meet the president of USA also, you have to have so many procedures. You have to go through so many things. You need a lot of money. If you are living in a different state, you have to travel all the way and meet. Or if you want to meet any highest person in the country, that is so difficult. But Krishna is so easy, so simple, so less of cost. You just have to keep chanting. You just have to chant. Simply go on chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. There is no other way. There is no other way. You don't need to sit down straight in the forest on a deer mat, control your breath, closing your eyes, putting the focus in between your eyes, sitting straight, bringing all your senses inside, not moving, not going here and there, like that for millions and millions of years, and meditate to get the love of God. You don't need to do that. You just have to have a mala, sit down and chant. And the words are so simple. Anybody can chant. Whoever can speak can chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. And what is that? It is not that when you're chanting, you are doing something easy, less thing. Oh, maybe I have to chant only a difficult sloka that nobody knows, a tongue twister, or something like, big Sahasranamas or big these things. No, just the chanting, because chanting is a complete glorification. There is nothing left. When you chant, there is nothing more to do. When you are chanting, you are doing everything, because some kirtana, some means samyak, complete. Kirtana means glorifying. When you are saying complete glorifying, then you should not be having any doubt that this is so simple. Anybody can chant. So is this enough? Yes. Who is saying that? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying. And who is the authority for us? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. And he is telling us the secret to know him. So if Raghav comes to my house, maybe Raghav likes just a gulab jamun. But when he comes to my house, he says, Mataji, I just need gulab jamun. I'll be very happy. But I will say that, oh no, Raghav, I have made this, that, this sweet, that sweet, rabdi, rasagulla, rasmalai, all these things. You eat all these things. These are more difficult than that. And these cost more. And these are very painful to make also. I've made this all for you. Will that give Raghav happiness? No. Because his happiness is in eating gulab jamun. If I want to make Raghav happy, I have to give him only gulab jamun. So Krishna is telling here that when you chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, that is enough. That is complete glorification. You don't need to do anything else more. Then we should have faith on that. We should have faith on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna, and do what they want us to do to please them, because we are pleasing them. So when Joshna says, Mataji, if you just say this, I am very happy, then I should just do it. She comes to my house and she says, Mataji, I just will drink water because I ate so much, I can't drink anything. If you just give me water, I'm thirsty, that is enough. Then I'll say, no, Joshna, don't drink water. I'll give you milkshake. I'll give you this juice, that juice. She's like, no, my stomach is already upset. I just need water. So if I give water, she's happy. So when Krishna is saying, chanting of the holy names of the Lord is complete glorification, and you don't need to do anything else. Then we have to just do that to please Krishna, to get love of God of Krishna. What happens when we get love of God? We don't need to take any more material body. We can be very happily getting our spiritual body, and then all the problems in our life will be gone. Whatever is the problem, small or big, is just gone. That is the ultimate solution. So we'll stop here. And then I would like all of you to summarize for me. One point, only one point, so that everybody gets a chance that we have learned today. Okay, Wonkar, go ahead. One point that in today's lecture that you want to take home or realized.
So something I learned that if you're even in the higher planets, the body will be based by how many sins you get. So
yes, that was.
If you get like a few, like a lot of sins, then you'll turn into like an ant or insect or something. Then if you do a lot of sins, then you'll turn into a Rakshasa.
Yep. Good job, Omkar. Mihika, go ahead next.
So Mataji, I wanted to share the last part of the class you were talking about, which is that the holy name is enough glorification to please Krishna, as if like you gave examples that if someone wants only only wants something to eat or something, like just wants something, then if you keep giving them options, they won't be happy. But if you just give that thing that they desire, they'll be happy.
Very good, Mihika. Raghav?
The glorification.
Yes, Mihika. Raghav?
I learned that if Krishna gives you a second chance, if you didn't finish your whole spiritual process in your first life, and if he gives you a second chance to finish it, then you should be very happy and you're very blessed, because you can then finish everything you need to in the material world and go back to God.
Yes, Kanna Raghav. That's so wonderful. So we don't know sometimes what fortune we are all having actually. We may be finding it difficult because that is our mind, which tells us that, do this, do that, don't do this. But we are all very fortunate to know Krishna in this life. And especially all of you are even fortunate than us, because I got to know about Krishna only after 25 years. So I lost already 25 years of my age in practicing, but you all are knowing Krishna at a very younger age. Practicing Krishna prema, Krishna love, chanting is very simple. You don't need to do many things. It's very simple. Just remember that you have Krishna in your life. That's it. Joshna, go ahead.
I learned that Lord Chaitanya is he's more merciful than Lord Krishna, because he's basically giving us Krishna prem bhakti to us for free. And we should be very happy for that, because prem bhakti is something that is better than every other material thing.
Yes, Joshna, wonderful. Manhar?
I have a question.
Okay.
So, like, when we go back to Krishna, we don't come back. So, at the beginning of our life, when we weren't in this material world, when we were in Golok Vrindavan, how did we come back? That's some confusions I have sometimes.
We came back because when we are in Golok Vrindavan, we saw that Krishna is enjoying, and we thought that I want to enjoy. I want to be master of my life. I don't want to be servant. I want to be master. I want to enjoy. And then we became envious of Krishna. We thought that, oh, Krishna is having all the fun. Krishna is that. So we thought that I want to go separately from Krishna, and I want to enjoy. And Krishna is like our father. He understood that we have a desire to do that. So he created this material world, and he sent us here so that we can enjoy separated from Krishna. Okay, Manhar?
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, people are envious of Krishna even today. They don't like to say that Krishna is the master. They don't like. They say that I am the master. Why is Krishna master? I can also become Krishna. So those people are all envious. And we were like that. We were envious of Krishna. That's why we are in this material world. When we realize that we are servants of Krishna, we are part and parcel of Krishna, and Krishna is supreme, then we are not anymore envious. Okay? Anyone else? All of you, I like all of you to share one point. Nihal, Kushi, whatever. It could be the same point as other kids are saying, but if you put it in your own words, you understand it more better. So that is why I want you all to summarize at least one point, which was your take home. Nihal and Kushi, do you have anything? Okay, then we can conclude the session here. Thank you all so much. You all are inspiring me to come here with a lot of interest better, and we are wonderfully reading this chapter. Thank you all so much. May Krishna bless all of you with his causeless mercy, and may Lord Chaitanya shower his blessings on all of you and make you all successful in your lives. Vancha kalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Her Grace Vanmalini Mataji ki jai. Hari